So recently, there has been different reports of suspected Cold War within the presidency, with the country's vice president, Professor Osinbajo, allegedly being possible target. Even Afenifere, through his spokesman Yinka Odumaki, coming out to say that the office of the vice president has been rendered useless and impotent going by the recent development. To further discuss this worrisome issue, we have with us a social commentator, Mr. Dapo Akinyosho.
There's been like a subtle reshuffling of all the duties of the vice president, considering that, recently there's a new economic advisory council and people are assuming that due to certain clash, or that the clear statement that the former economic council headed by the vice president has been dissolved. And then also the new humanitarian ministry that's supposed to deal with duties that he took care of under the Empower, under the empowerment programs, trader money and all that he did. People are thinking this is a subtle kind of, taking away certain duties from him to reduce his influence.
I didn't get you clearly on that, but if you're referring to the rumor that, or the stories that are going around now, that the social empowerment programs are being moved to a ministry. Even if that were true, it only shows that those things have done so well that the presidency is elevating it to the level of a ministry of its own. So rather than be seen as something that is a markdown, it is something that shows that these programs have run so well and the government is willing to expand it to make it a whole ministry of its own. Okay. So I think those are things that should be commended and not used to deride the administration.
Right. Okay, so maybe then you'll be able to help explain this better. Specifically, he was chairman economic management team. That team has been dissolved now, and we now have economic advisory council. And we want to know, is there a difference between these two bodies right now? The person who is heading it, is she the person doing a very different job from what the economic management team used to do? Or do you think this is also another improvement on what it used to be?
I mean, whether it's economic management team or economic advisory council, whatever nomenclature it is given, they are both advising the government on the economy. And they're looking at policies, but it doesn't have any executive powers to carry out any things. It would only advise the president. And I believe that the vice president still remains head of the National Executive Council, which is the one that has the executive power to make decisions.
All right, so I wanted to ask you, because obviously you're dispelling all the social media rumor that there is nothing wrong between the vice president and the president, right? And if that being the case, we know that usually vice presidents only have one major portfolio, which is the constitutional one of being the head of the economic committee. But all the other things that he would have done would have had to be based on the presidency giving him those assignments and those powers. And all that he has been doing now, they've changed it. So you're saying that all of that, Nigeria shouldn't be bothered, there's nothing different.
No cause for alarm.
There's no cause for alarm. The presidency just felt like there's need for rejigging without anything. There's no reason for Nigeria to speculate that there's something wrong between the vice president and the presidency.
Nothing at all. And I'm sure you know that when people see something that is going on so well, this is the first time we're seeing a relationship between the president and the vice president that is so cordial, so rosy, and working together in the interest of the nation. When there's no conflict between them, people are trying to create a conflict. The manufacture stories just to make it seem as if there is a problem. But as you know, as we have all heard, the president himself has on several occasions commended the vice president as being a very stable person, as being a very loyal and trustworthy person.